Welcome everyone, this is Pound Needles and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at Lezus and LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda
Hello.
and Krister.
Hello.
Hello everyone. Are you all ready to find out what's been happening in LOTRO this week?
I am.
Indeed.
Then let us begin with a little announcement that pay transfers are now available on Shadowfax and Treebeard. You can transfer off of them, not onto them, just off of them. So for some reason you desperately wanted to transfer your character off the server, you could do so. So I should warn you that we are about to hit level cap on Shadowfax, and when it reaches Shadowfax on Shadowfax, then soon after that, they'll open up free transfers off of it. So you would have to be pretty desperate right now, I think, if you're going to pay to transfer your character off of Shadowfax now, when you could do it for free in a month or two. At least that's my opinion on the matter. I don't know if any of you are planning anything like that.
They're planning free transfers off of Treebeard too when it hits cap eventually, right?
Yeah, when it eventually hits there, but is that going to be in any of our lifetime?
Oh, yeah? Well, when I say I'm a captain at the theater, I get a free small soda.
I mean, what would be the level cap by the time Treebeard catches up?
Oh, boy. Well, it would be an entirely different game.
Yeah, I mean, Enriquez, right now...
250.
250? All right, so that's your prediction on that, because they'll hit new level cap areas every... Is it 6 months or is it 8 months where they do it? It's such a long time, it's hard to keep track on that. So let's say it's 6 months, then... maybe more likely 230, but yeah, it's up there. So anyway, if you want to transfer off, you can do so now, but of course, these are for paid transfers, not for free transfers. And Shadowfax will have free transfers soon enough, so if you can wait, it's best to wait there. Now, speaking of Treebeard, Horse Session Play is going to activate on April 7th, which means that if you ordered the Legendary Edition of the Riders of Rohan, you'll be able to participate in that Horse Session Play. And finally, they actually had a little bit of another type of session play, and that is they opened up for this weekend only a special session play where you could be a chicken in the moors. And I heard that it wasn't too long after word came out about the special session play that the wargs just said, chickens?
Sounds like dinner.
Sounds like dinner. Yes, that is what they were saying in there. So I would say the chickens had fun for about half an hour, and then the wargs had fun after that.
Though it then says that they fixed the error of the initial run and scattered spawns around. So...
there was something about that, but I don't know what they had to do, because when they first opened up the session play, all of the devs who were on the stream, they were announcing this, they all popped up in different areas.
Fair. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened. In fact, Cordovan, he managed to get all the way through, and he was running right by where a raid of freaks and creeps were fighting each other. So he just managed to skirt them and
He kept going. That's pretty funny.
Going, and he made it all the way to the end on that particular play. Now, it could be that they were talking about an earlier attempt to do it, maybe in a different year, that this year they got it working by scattering the spawns. Maybe there was a bug in it, and only the devs got scattered all over the place. I don't
Or
know.
maybe it had like a soft launch for the quest before. I don't know.
Yeah. That I don't know about. But in any case, some people are having fun with that, and some people, well, were having dinner, I'll just say.
A different sort of fun.
A different sort of fun, yes, on that. Now, I did not participate. In fact, I filtered out the quest on most of my characters because I'm not exactly
You
into
hate
PvP.
chicken. Just admit it.
You didn't want to eat chicken dinner?
What are you? Chicken?
Or you were on Freep? No, it's more like you were on Freeps. You are Pine Leaf. You didn't want to become chicken dinner.
Right. Also, a little note on there is that they had originally planned to do update 35.0.1 this week in order to fix some issues, but apparently there are some issues with the update, so that has been delayed until next week. So we did not get an update, but we did get a borrower build. And in that, they were having their first round of testing for the raid, Guathranos, the Witch King Citadel. And they had the first 2 tiers of the raid ready for testing. And this was the next round for the instance cluster that they had, because they had already released the 2-3 player instances and the 6-player instance. So this was going to round up the update 35 instances. Now, I suspect that neither of you had a chance to run this.
No, but I am curious about how many chickens are actually in this run.
In the raid?
Of course, yeah, that's exactly how we should start rating raids from here on out. How many chickens they have in it. You know?
So you could have like a 0 chicken to 10 chicken rating, or like...
Ooh. Maybe it'd have to be 0 to 100 to capture the complexity of poultry.
Yes. The chickens then have Yes. So the raid had its first round of testing in there, and they are of course going to be releasing that, I suspect, in a few weeks from now. Now, the rest of the release notes actually are items that seem to be in the preliminary version of the update 35.1 that they were planning on doing. So, of course, I presume that the full release was built on that particular version of the update in there. So there are a number of things that are scheduled for next week that are mentioned in here. And one of the items in there is that they are changing the skill Return to Glandreich. Actually, no, that's the wrong one. They're changing the return skill to the Carn-Dûm area so that you don't have to do a raid in order to complete that. They're playing into another tab so that you won't have to do a raid in order to, because I think I was complaining about that a little bit last week.
Yes, yeah, I think that was a topic of discussion as well. So several people were frustrated with that.
So that's one of the items that they were noting in here. I think, though, that the rest of them, I'm going to wait till next week, since I suspect I'll just have to reread them next week, since I think the main thrust of next week's update is pretty much all the things that don't have to do with the raid that are in these notes. So I'll save them for later. But we do have a sale for our usual sales in there. And Sans, what's on sale this week?
Well, this week you should prepare for battle. There's 20% off stat tomes, regeneration food, run speed boost, and attack damage boost, all the way through April 6th. And there's a free weekly coupon that gets you a free universal ingredient pack, just one of them. The coupon code is INGREDIENT, INGREDIENT. All uppercase if that matters. And that's also good through April 6th.
Right? But that coupon code is certainly a bit of an April Fool's joke. Just one ingredient. That's all you get.
Oh, the April Fools would have been naming it ingredients and then only having one. See.
Oh, that would be cruel.
Or naming it ingredient singular but having more than one. That would be a nice version of it.
Yeah.
But instead it actually
nice.
matches. You just get one.
Yeah. and considering the things that are on sales this week, this April Fool's show, we will have our duddest sale yet. Yes.
Do you need more Delman's crayons? Are you tired of not breaking your teeth every time you go to eat? This sale is for you.
Do you need a run speed boost because you've got a hunter in your party to reduce it? No, sorry.
I don't think that would help, actually.
You got a point there. Oh, well. Then let's head into our weekend LOTRO. And Krister, what were you up to?
Well, last night we managed to get a group of 6 intrepid adventurers together, and we once again launched an expedition into the vile, poisonous, rat-infested Karn Doom, to our eventual detriment. Of course, it went with the same thing. We did T1, feeling pretty good about ourselves. Got on T2, feeling pretty good about ourselves. Got to the last boss, felt really, really kind of not too great about ourselves.
Considering what happened last week, you'd think that you wouldn't be so surprised of the same result this week.
That's true, but I think it's just come down to what we're all realizing is there are obvious mechanics that we're not thinking about, although we started to talk about them last night. But that last fight is just something else. It's really frustrating when you have a pretty straightforward push towards the boss, and then the boss is just on another level, and so we ended the night with our bitter defeat, but yet we are contemplating. So we're just happy that we're getting. Thanks for joining us again, too, Pine. It worked out perfectly to get enough people together to do this expand. It's been fun doing it, and someone else did actually get some teal boots, so that was good. And so then on ESO, a couple of my kinmates from Lord of the Rings, Runt and Rudd. We 3-manned a 4-man dungeon, and we had this fight that was every bit as epic as our favorite raid fights. It was this knockdown, drag out, desperate struggle for survival that we just barely managed to pull off by the skin of our teeth, and we all were loved it. It was a lot of fun, and so we're looking forward to delving into more dungeons in ESO as a result. And I've been Starship Evoing a lot lately, so I'm building my intergalactic armada to take over the universe. And then, Sans, what were you up to this week?
Well, I had a brief foray into Cyrodiil in ESO with Grandis and Arendis. And then we went Skyshard hunting so that Arendis could have a slightly faster mount, thanks to the tutorial in Cyrodiil. And in Valheim, I discovered creative mode and had a lot of fun with that. And then my nephew discovered it, and that was really fun to watch too. And then I discovered world hopping and had some fun with that, because that might open up some ways to not have everything I build be destroyed by increasingly harder raid events as I progress through the game, because I could progress in one and build in a different world, and that could be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And I think that was about my whole week. How was your week, Pineleaf?
I'll begin with my lore master, who spent time in the Troll Shawl searching for a missing ring raid. I didn't find any sign of it. At least not yet.
That's not a good sign, Pine Leaf.
What, they
At least
couldn't
when you
find it?
know where one is, you can avoid it.
Well, don't worry. Legolas told me that he is ready to accompany on a mission to search for a wood troll that may be giving us trouble, and perhaps we could find some clue about the ring wraith from there. How about that?
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. Then, on my Runekeeper, I finally reached Gondor. So I went through the Paths of the Dead, headed through into the Blackroot Vale, where I am sure that wonderful things are going to happen.
Well, with a
And
name like that, Blackroot Vale, how could wonderful things not happen?
Exactly. That sounds like the place where they make root beer. Or whatever the equivalent is, Lord of the Rings. Moot beer? Maybe moot beer?
Moot beer. Yes. And for the field trip, we continue to do some quests in Evenham, and we are slowly getting through that area. And as we're going through there, someone made a comment that they somehow stumbled on that there is actually about 5 years ago, I think there was someone created a studio called Pine Leaf Studios.
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently, though, the only game that they have out so far is called Dwarfheim, which is a RTS game. And I'm really bad at RTS games, so I'm wondering, okay, now do I look into this game because of the name of the studio, or do I give it a pass? So that's what I'm thinking of on the moment on there. Who knows? Maybe I'll check that out. Maybe I should do it just as an April Fool's prank on myself.
Well, what if it's you from another dimension?
Me from another dimension.
First of all, congrats for hopping dimensions. That's pretty impressive. But
yes. That's it for my week in gaming. We currently have 13 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious raid of players and help support LOTRO players, you go to the donations page to support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows. If you'd like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@lotroplayers.com. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, though anyone knows that is probably the closest thing I said to an April Fool's prank in this entire episode, because when is it ever Wednesday at 7? And on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Loach Players News. You can subscribe to our shows at loachplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight, and this is Panic Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.